There are few things in this world that create true terror. You are about to experience two of them. The acts committed by epinephrine and phenylalanine have been hidden from the shadows of history for too long. Today, you will learn the whole story, not the corruptly censored one. You will learn the whole story of how two compounds, both armed with benzene, and both having a presence in the body, shook the world to its core.
It's important to understand that phenylalanine is easily the worst of the duo. It is a known fact that phenylalanine is used to signal epinephrine in our very bodies. I believe a German man by the name of Heinrich Bataille with his assistant Marshal Nuremberg were the ones who first discovered it. Nuremberg, I believe, even went on to win a Nobel, crazy as can be.
Epinephrine's troubled beginnings.
Epinephrine had a bit more sloppy birth nearly half a century earlier. In 1895, Napoleon Slusky first extracted the compound, but it was mixed up with other compounds. It was not isolated until 1900 by Japanese chemist Jokichi Takamine and his assistant Kizo Yuneka. Took it straight up from the adrenal glands of sheep and oxen. Now, I'm not the one to speculate, but two horrendous compounds being found in Germany and Japan, the two most menacing powers of the 20th century, no coincidence, my friend. Oh, and of course the compound was synthesized in a lab not 4 years later by Henry Disdale Dakin and Frederick Stolz, though it wasn't until 50 years later, of course, with the arrival of phenylalanine, when things began to head south. The actions of these men are now found in every human body. They, of course, found each other due to benzene. The appearance of these compounds matches their deeds. To all the squeamish, please shield your eyes. Investigating detective for the Benzene Bandits case.
Now imagine for a second two compounds. One has 9 carbon, 13 hydrogen, and 3 oxygen, and a nitrogen. While the other is slinging 9 carbon, 11 nitrogen, 2 oxygen, and nitrogen, both armed with benzene. Benzene is a sweet, colorless chemical. Sweet, like flowers. But unlike flowers, benzene is flammable. It is found in crude oil, gasoline, and cigarette smoke. The IARC and the NTP and the EPA all find it as a human carcinogen. In fact, we have photos of these compounds. I mean, these compounds exist in all of us. Now, taking a look at exactly how and where these compounds come from is Border Patrolman Juan Valdrigo.
The most horrific prospect of these compounds' existence is the ease of access and sheer tremendous presence they have. They do both exist in the body. Luckily though, phenylalanine has got to be taken by the food we eat. Foods like eggs, seeds, and fish are rich in phenylalanine, so watch out for them. Epinephrine is ever present in the body, however, but that's not even the worst of it. You can buy epinephrine in pens. Allergies, I think, is what they try to pull it off as. EpiPens, I believe they're called. Damnedest things I've ever seen. It's hard to even take its measure. It's not that I'm afraid of it. I always knew you had to be willing to die to even do this job. But I don't want to push my chips forward and go out and meet something I don't understand. A man would have put his soul at hazard. He'd have to say, okay, I'll be part of this world. I'll fight those benzene bandits.
Valdrigo went missing south of the border sometime last month and has not been seen since. Our next point will be the hardest to convey. Finally, the horrendous actions of these compounds will be revealed. What they did and what they continue to do today will finally be brought to light.
Epinephrine, believe it or not, was once even used as a medicine for bronchospasm and hypoglycemia. I was a victim of epinephrine. It made me do these things. Lift a car, run away from a bear. I don't know how to live with myself. I tried to OD on drugs and get rid of the pain, but they gave me a shot of epinephrine, bringing me right back into this world. Please stop it right now.
Phenylalanine changed my whole life. Its presence in my body, like its presence in all human bodies, has changed me. It signals tyrosine, which in turn brings on dopamine, melanin, and yes, even epinephrine. The color of my skin, whether I'm happy or sad, my energy level, it's all decided by that compound. I have no control.
That is tragically all our victims were able to say on the matter. Lastly, we'd like to warn all of you how to prevent being hurt and be wary of these compounds. Here's Dr. Funke.
Do not inhale, do not ingest. Avoid getting in your eyes and skin. Epinephrine may kill you in case of overexposure. If you do happen to get it on yourself, rinse the area and pray. If you have been inspired today to work in the century-long chase of epinephrine and phenylalanine, know that when working with samples in the lab, you should use basic lab equipment like goggles and lab apron.
Closing our broadcast, we'd like to show you this never-before-seen video sent to us by the Benzene Bandits. We here at the studio are seeing this for the first time with you.
I don't understand!